don't matter. He's back home. Back where he claimed that Aegis in the first place.
Okay, that's fair. He's on the home turf. Are you saying the king has returned to the palace? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, that's right.
Some malice in the palace, perhaps? Yeah, this is a matchup that goes back many a year.
Yeah.
This is a draft that goes back many a year. I remember coaching Sumail at Epicenter 2.
Okay.
8 years ago, we went to the grand finals. We played against a little unknown team known as Liquid at the time. Kuroki drafted their classic trialing mid at the time, which was Io, Tuskar, Sven. And they trialed mid with that versus Sumail. And now, look where he is. On the side of the Io, Tuskar, Sven. 8 years later, he has gone to the dark side. He has joined the evil that defeated us so long ago. My brother, why?
Well, it hasn't done much good for him so far this year.
Well, it never did any good for me, so hopefully it does him better. There's some irony here. Like, this is legit a Kuro strat from 8 years ago. I'm not being mean. They have really been trying to force the IO through this meta right now.
Yes, they have.
It is very good for the team. It's very good hero for GH.
And it also has worked for them so far this tournament. I mean, yesterday they went 4-0. Unfortunately, a little bit on the back foot for both of these teams as they received the morning loss. Both of them went 0-2 this morning.
I mean, variability. You know, we're not going to chalk that up too much. They got 0-2'd towards Spirit. Anybody could lose to Spirit. You know, there's no shame in that. So for all the Nigma hopium out there, it's doing good. It's doing well.
Keep it alive.
This is a series that could easily go either way. These are two teams that, if you look at how the standings are going to go, you pretty much have to play the top of the pack right now between Liquid, Nigma, and Parivision.
Yeah.
And Parivision will be Nigma's last matchup as well. They are top of the group. They are a very strong group stage team, very strong team in general. So if you're Nigma, you really want to 2-0 this to be in a really comfortable spot because you do not know how that Parivision series is going to go. So this could be a really big series for Nigma trying to get into that upper bracket. And at the same time, Liquid's in a very similar spot, a game behind.
Yeah, I would say with much lower expectations. Normally, I think at a LAN, we would look at it the opposite, where Liquid, they're trying to get to the upper bracket. Nigma is just trying to make sure they stay in the group stage and get to playoffs. But with the stand-in situation and Nigma Galaxy on the rise in general, right? The last 6 months have been, I would say, a general, you know, maybe a couple of steps back here or there, but I think generally speaking, they've been on the rise.
Oh, you'd say they are a team that maybe could pull a miracle TI run?
A 0.01% TI victory, maybe,
I mean, pretty much no one 6 months ago would have predicted this team was
only the...
You'd have to be crazy to do that. But look at us now.
Only the long-seeing visionaries of Dota2 would be able to predict something like that.
This is a tough matchup, though. I think Nigma has struggled a little bit versus some of these top Western European teams. I mean, some of that is, you know, everybody has. They're the top European teams. They're the best teams in the world for a reason.
Yeah, who hasn't struggled against them?
The Eastern European teams.
That is mostly true, yeah.
Honestly,
you call them Parivision, Eastern
I feel like
European.
Nigma's final boss is the Middle Eastern qualifiers, to be honest. As long as they can get through those, everything's easier after that. Like that, those finals are something else, man.
They do seem to be a little spicy for them, yeah.
So they've overcome the final boss. They're looking good here, and this should be a close series.
Ooh. Almost catching Noob there. He doesn't quite take out to the damage. In fact, they had to pass over the Lotus just to make sure he doesn't die to the damage over time of the Jakiro. Enough about setting the stage here, Avery. Let's talk about what's at play here in some of these lane matchups. Panel was concerned that Nigma would lose 2 of their lanes. Do you foresee that happening?
Which 2?
Well, I assume they are talking about the Tiny versus Puck. And of course, you would know the other lane that they would lose.
Yeah, it's Morphling lane. This is an auto-lose lane. Nigma cannot win Phoenix versus Morphling. You do not win this lane in a million simulations.
Okay. A million simulations.
However, they're wrong about mid because it's not a normal Puck versus Tiny. It's Sumail Puck versus Tiny, and Sumail does not lose the lane. In fact, he is winning the lane, Austin.
Yeah, Sumail is taking it to him, man. He is denied the water rune that Bryle was trying to pick up earlier. Now he snatched away another water rune from Bryle. And I
mean, he is doing work in this lane. He's about to steal the change out of his pocket right now because this is This is Grand Theft Robbery. That is not a charge. This is...
No, it's not.
Oh, I didn't want to say the other Grand Theft because I think that's a copyrighted title. So I was trying to, skew away from that. But anyway, my point is, after this lane, Prowl's not going to have enough side change to buy the next Grand Theft playing title, especially after the prices are going up. So he's got to put some work in this mid game to make a little bit of a comeback, because this is a nice start for Sumails, particularly in this matchup. I mean, looking at this game overall, I kind of like what Liquid have. I feel like their scaling's better with this Morphling. I think at some point the Phoenix Sven just aren't doing enough for what this Morphling plus the two other cores are going to bring to the table. So I think if you're Nigma, you want to get some dual roam action happening with the IO Tusk, which is the lane they look for a lot.
Dive after Insania. Noob's going to go for the kill, and he will be able to get it, but Mickey gets the first blood first.
That's so nice for Liquid. Exactly what you want here. Every time you get these kills with Morphling and the Morphling stays alive, you just get soul XP on the lane, which means you're almost always out CSing any offlaner since you have insane base damage. You're going to out-regen them. It's just so nice. So that's a perfect scenario for Liquid. And then on top of this, your Jakiro gets to come back with full resources, which is extra nice for the Morphling, because then you can just use all those resources to protect him.
Right. No
way to force this guy off the lane now. This is just the hardest lane in the game for me. This is not a lane that we're going to win. You're just trying to get XP out of it for the Phoenix, get him to as fast a Vessel if you go down that route, or as fast as Shiva's if you just go down that one.
Yeah.
But you can build nice items versus the Morphling. It can just be a struggle to get there. And we're already seeing the laning phase not too hot for Noob. So he will try and make up for it in the team fights. So the issue that I have with this Nigma lineup is you're looking for some dual roam at some point with the support duo, but I feel like you have the slightly slower lanes on average, which doesn't help you there. And your play creation between the three cores is a little dependent on the puck, which is another reason why Sumail winning this mid lane is a huge deal for Nigma, because now they have a play creator in this puck that can actually go with the supports and make something happen, because these supports are very low damage if you don't have a play creator core to go with them.
Right. Yeah, as it stands, the other side lanes are winning net worth-wise. This Sven, he's picked up a little bit extra off of the neutrals, so his CS is a bit inflated there, but net worth, he is behind the Enigma.
But this is the problem. Like, you can put the Tusk up here, but what are you doing? You cannot get aggressive on this lane. If anything, you go in on Liquid, it's going to end really bad for you. You're going to complete the Eidolon split. You're going to get turned around with a bunch of long-range artillery from the supports. It's not going to be a fun time. Yeah, you can go into mid, but this is a hard hero to gank. You're looking at a 1200 HP Tiny with 8 armor, full wand, raindrop loaded.
Yeah.
Or not loaded, fairy fire. I mean,
he's got like 1600 effective HP or something.
Yeah, so this is my issue with Nigma's draft in this game, is how do you accelerate into the mid game so that you're ahead? Because it does not seem very obvious to me.
Okay.
I feel like this is going to be a low kill game for Nigma, and I don't know if that favors their lineup.
A little bit of damage back on Sumail.
On the other side, though, Liquid, they can easily just go to the Enigma and play through the Eidolons. Yeah, you have Sven with some cleave, but if you get the split here, in theory, you don't care. You can also bring both supports to the Tiny at any point if you can chip this puck a little bit, or like contest one of the power runes. I think you're favored in that skirmish with the Jakiro attack speed slow.
Got him on the shards. There's a little bit of an opening, though.
This is dangerous with the turnaround.
Breaking all three heroes, and here comes Insania. Ice Path on 3. The dual breath on 3 as well, with Saberlight joining in. This is disaster for Nigma.
Yeah, this is not the play you're looking for. I just disagree fundamentally with that idea. You don't have the damage for this play.
Sumail still trying to make his way out. He had to jump to the orb earlier. He will manage to make it away. So it's just the two supports who do die. It seems like Nigma, I mean, I almost felt like a sense of frustration. Like the Tusk moving around the map, trying to find an opening. There was nothing to be found. Finally, they just forced a bad play.
They feel the pressure. They feel that they need to be making Slaying happen right now, and they don't know where to do it. And I think there isn't a place to do it. And I think in the games where that exists, where there isn't an obvious kill threat or an easy conversion on some efficient trade, you're supposed to make that move, but you fake it.
Okay.
Like you bait the reaction, you bait the TPs out of the Liquid, you instantly bail, and then you can make a move somewhere else.
Right, okay.
But even then, it's a heavy committal. And meanwhile, Liquid are just playing the stack game, right? This is even more economic pressure on you right now to get something done.
Yeah, when you've lost the lanes and the enemy team is stacking more than you, you're going to be at a massive economic disadvantage.
It's just a really tough position. This is honestly, these are the types of games I hated playing. And this is when Morphling feels the most frustrating because you want to do stuff, you want to get active, you have some capability, and there's just this brick wall on the map that is this Morphling in the safe lane that limits your play options.
Oh no, Ghost! Vision behind the tower spots him as he stacked up his own Ancients, wins it clear with the God Strength, but instead, meanwhile, back to mid lane. Bryle in trouble once again. This time, 4 heroes going to be brought to lane. Bryle finally does go down. Boxy taking some damage as well. He ends up getting taken out as well. So Nigma learned from their lesson, apparently say, okay, 3 heroes isn't enough, and we need to bring 4 and execute all at once to be able to kill this Tiny. It helped that Liquid was a bit distracted getting the kill on the enemy carry at top lane.
Yeah, just got to find these numbers advantage. I mean, that's a really important play for Nigma to get. You commit for that, you better make it work. You do have Threat of the Black Hole up on the map right now, so you're playing around that. A lot of extra net worth going to the puck. Once again, your best playmaker, a hero that can bring these supports into the game right now and make space for the Sven to jungle. Everything has to go through Sumail right now. Not a bad player to bet on.
For sure. I'm going to put my money down on any player in this tournament. He'd be in probably the top 10.
Never thought I'd see the day where Orba Venom is the puck item.
I know. I was looking at that too.
I mean, that is just disgusting. That's the future, kids.
That is the
You go with it or it leaves you behind.
Welcome to 2025.
Pava's already done for Boxy. He's just rushing Solar Crest. That's going to be nice here. And if you can keep defending these towers until you have that Tiny Blink, your early game is going to be complete once Bryle has that item. Then you have aggressive playmaking potential.
Yeah.
So again, Nigma are trying to get as much done while they can be aggressive here.
Yeah, they are really trying hard to take this mid tower. Liquid bringing some heroes along. They actually do recall in Saberlight. Nigma, this is one of those better, like, I'm not going to say it's a fake because they are actually getting real damage on the tower, but they did force Liquid to group up and don't get punished.
And that type of move is a lot more efficient for them because this gives time for the Sven to farm. The Enigma is not getting to push the map in. Still has a couple idle on top, but he's not really benefiting from it. You're splitting all the stack XP. Boxy, you are the cannon fodder now.
He's like, bro, I gave you mana. What was that for?
There's the blink, though. This is a pretty good timing on this Tiny Blink with the treads plus the wand. Can definitely make some surprise smoke with this. If you catch the puck,
yeah,
I'm pure gold in the bank.
You're timing-wise, you're probably not thinking he has the Blink Dagger because you got the successful pick-off on him earlier, but having an Ancient stack to clear through certainly...
Oh, that rune. I mean, that could have been a rune you killed him on.
Yeah.
Instead, Sumail gobbles it up. That's a nice one to have. Could dodge something out here. Dispel some dots. There's a lot of time Liquid are...
And they are under award for that play, so
yeah,
this smoke is red entirely.
That was just clunky. Like, that should have just been ready. The blink arrives on Bryle, he gets instant smoke. You would have caught puck on the rune.
Yeah.
These little things make a big difference.
Omar's going to try and position himself in the trees to break the smoke, but they still get the jump onto Sumail. Toss him back over into the black hole. The snowball is out, but that just means he's going to be stuck inside the black hole as well. Sumail, despite the read on the smoke play, they get caught on it. They're still going to try and respond, but the Supernova is just going to go down nice and quick. Mickey joining into the fight makes a huge difference, and now, not only the kill on the Phoenix, perhaps more, as they go and find the Io, toss them together, try and put him inside that Illuminate Blast, but the relocate does go and brings Ghost and GH back out of danger.
That's just a super awkward play for Nigma. They saw them on the ward.
Oh, and their Ancients are getting stolen too.
This is brutal. So much for Mickey off this play. Just comes in, easiest egg kill of his life. Easy follow-up. Beautiful stuns from Bryle. Maybe not expecting the puck to be able to die there with the Illusion Rune plus a Snowball bailout.
Yeah.
They executed it damn well with the black hole.
Yeah, really nice toss back into Saberlight. That was well played by Bryle.
Now Nigma have some freedom. You have this black hole on cooldown. Tiny got his blink play, but now you can strike back.
And they want that mid tower. Sumail's going to use the illusions to try and take it.
No deny?
Yeah, Bryle instead trying to go for the kill rather than get the deny in the tower. Found the Io. Toss up in the air with Saberlight coming in through the side. They have the Malphus. GH is going to try and tether himself away. Insani has an ice path in the way. Macro Pyre on out. GH is burning on Insani his light. Bryle jumps in. Big avalanche. Toss up in the air. Ghost is going to be low and he falls.
Haste Rune in the river.
Oh, he picks it up. Bryle is able to snatch away the haste rune before the puck can get the grab on it. Mickey pushes forward with the waveform, and that is going to be the death of the Tusk. Mar, he falls as well. 4 dead on the side of Nigma. Liquid only losing the Jakiro.
I do it without the black hole. Just so much damage coming out from this Tiny. You get multiple combos off. The puck, he's matching it, but there's no other damage fall. Your main damage in this early mid game is the Phoenix. Noob just not contributing. Looking for this Shiva's rush. Didn't have egg for that fight. What's he supposed to do? Liquid just playing a little too fast here. And you already have the pipe done on the Enigma. That's just massive.
Yeah.
Like, this is the strongest team fight item on the map right now.
They took the Wisdom Shrine. They took the Ancient Stacks. They're going to take the Tormentor. I mean, Liquid's just having a field day in this first 20 minutes.
They're getting everything. I mean, that XP difference already 8 levels.
Whew. And that is rough when you have a pipe done on the enemy offlaner. How is Nigma going to put any magic damage? They don't have the levels to have some of their maxed out spells, and they're fighting into a pipe. They're going to struggle to kill any heroes, burst him down. If they can't burst him down, then Boxy starts getting his heals in.
Gotta land some clutch stuns or silences on the Morphling, though the Manta's already done. Or get ghosted, right? Use this Sven to buff up the team with the armor, let them survive it a little bit longer and pick off some supports. The Sven can do some serious damage to the backline of Liquid if you can somehow get him in that position. Assuming he is ready to join that fight, you're probably looking at the Sven blink before that happens.
Yeah, I was going to say, I feel like you're asking a lot of your Sven to get involved on just 2 items. Right? I feel like most Svens, they're not going to get involved until they have the 3rd or 4th item.
I mean, that's Sven, though. You always got to ask a lot from Sven.
Caught in the middle of the tether. The Avalanche puts a stop to that one. GH, an easy pickoff for Liquid.
It's just not the easiest IO game either. A lot of AoE on Liquid side. A lot of stuns and interrupts. You have some anti-clump mechanics. You have a displacement mechanic with the Tiny. There's a lot of stuff that can mess up the tethers this game. Make GH's life miserable as this Morphling continues to pull ahead. Yeah, I don't know. It feels like this Morphling clock is ticking a little bit.
Yeah.
It's not an end-all be-all here by any means. It's been a frustrating game for Nigma. Looking for more momentum than I think they would have wanted. Maybe this Shiva's on the Phoenix.
That's what I was going to say. He is almost level 12, and he's got Shivas. Frankly, I just don't think we've seen much impact out of the Phoenix so far. So this timing, though, it's a very big window. This is going to be very strong Phoenix in the next team fight.
Love to have it here for this Roshan test.
If only they were in the position to contest Roshan.
Man, you get an Aegis on the Morphling, then you have to use this Phoenix Shiva's timing plus level 12 into an Aegis Morphling. That just feels so much worse here.
Yeah.
Liquid a little bit ahead on all these objectives in the game. It's paying off. Nonetheless, timings will arrive for Nigma and Galaxy if they want to try and use them. Could get a nice defensive fight out of it. Kind of use Liquid's momentum and aggression against them, bait them in a little bit.
Yeah, if they overextend, they get coiled into a bad spot, you know, too deep on Nigma's side of the map. Give a good supernova on top of that. That's a team fight winning combination for sure, but the pickoffs will continue. GH, he's going to run into the smoke here of Liquid. Actually, was that a smoke? Sumail, he's going to try and get a rebuttal kill, but the Jakiro's just way too tanky for him. Bryle missing the Avalanche there, but may still have a chance at another pickoff as he's got the toss. His team is a little bit delayed. They were blocked out by the shards earlier, but they can keep running down the river. He's still got an Avalanche, so I don't think Omar is going to be able to get out of here. It would take a snowball up to the high ground. It's
not the hero you want to mess around with.
Yeah.
You're not getting away from this Tiny. You're either fighting there or you're out. Bleeding more kills, not what you're looking for. Noob TP's back to base. If you're going to smoke this Phoenix, I mean, if you're going to smoke this Phoenix, now's the time to do it.
Yeah, I guess so. He was in a good position to cut waves at bottom. He did cut one of the waves, so I'm just surprised he didn't keep to it. Sumail getting some information here with his Invis rune. A lot of information. Spotted 2. Silence on 2 with the coil on top of it. It's backline heroes that Ghost's going to try and go to work to, but he didn't finish off the Enigma, and now the Enigma has responded with the black hole. It's bad for Nigma. It's real bad.
Absolutely nothing off that Invis rune. Everything backfires.
It was just, they just were not ready for the go from Sumail. He saw an opportunity, but his team was not there to follow it up.
Too much utility already online for Liquid. The pipe just delays so much damage off the puck. Early 4-staff plus Essence Ring on this Jakiro. He's got basically 2,000 HP with a 4-staff, not something the Sven can chunk through. You're going to have a Blinding Light in there. You're going to have a Solar Crest. Just so much early utility for a Sven without BKB to try and deal with. Good luck, man. There's no way it's happening. That jump has to be like all 3 cores instantly in together. Drop an egg, so even if you black holes, the egg is some kind of threat towards it.
Yep.
Bottom tower is under attack.
Does manage to land the Ice Bath there on Sumail. Brile trying to take advantage of the opportunity. Caught him on the last half of the Avalanche. Almost bursted him down. Heals come in just the nick of time from GH.
Essence Ring saving lives out here. Might not save your base.
Going up to high ground this early.
How do you protect the egg? That's another thing in this game. Can you protect the egg? You have Punch and you have Stormhammer. That's it?
Yeah.
There's not a lot.
You got to get a good coil, and then they're going to do certain things to deal with the coil, and then you've got to get the perfect punch.
I don't even think the coil protect. I think if you coil Mickey and you egg, he will just run out of it and then just kill your egg.
He might.
He has so much attack speed. Throw a Solar Crest in there as well.
I do feel like he's the only one who really can hit the egg in that situation, though.
That is the upside, yeah.
So in that case, that's where the Tusk comes in. Just one punch.
The Jakiro.
We'll see if Insania is in position.
2 heads, 2 hits. Time to buy the Moon Shard, my brother.
True.
Put in just aggressive 4-staff.
Get the Dragonlance, Blink Dagger. Yeah, yeah.
Swift Blink Jakiro. That's
Swift Blink Jakiro.
looks pretty good this game.
All right, you need to stop talking. All right.
I think I should start talking more.
Purge has already been playing the carry Jakiro in our stacks. All right. I don't need any more encouragement.
Quite heavy, I will say. It's quite heavy.
You know, many valuable things are.
It is down there on the periodic table. That is for sure.
Some of the most valuable metals are quite heavy, Avery.
He is not in the category of useful heavy things like printer inker. You know, he's not that. Okay, aggressive egg. Gotta get something.
Oh, good Stormhammer there from Ghost. Okay, they can't finish off the Enigma? Oh, dear. I thought he was a commitment there.
There's just too much utility. And you're reloading back bottom. You just have to concede this lane.
Yeah, I mean, you used all your ultimates, so that... I mean, if anything, Liquid can go for another lane.
Yeah, they still have Aegis for 30 seconds.
Brile finds the opening onto the Phoenix, and with the Stormhammer stolen by Mickey, turns into the Sven. Gets the kill, and now pushes onwards. The mid lane of Barracks, 22 minutes in. Liquid is looking at a second lane of Barracks to be taken. Nigma, all they can do, they can't fight right now. Ultimates are on cooldown. They're just trying to cut the creep waves right now. Backdoor protection.
There's a wave
not
top.
Going up because there's still a wave top.
This is one of those lineups where if you don't get something done with the dual roam early, you're going to be behind, and your 5v5 is not favorable with the amount of teamfight items Liquid are building. Like, the heroes don't matter. It's just you're fighting into 4-staffs, Solar Crest, Pipe, Vlad's on the Morphling, another Aura for this lineup, and you just bringing nothing to the table other than that IO map.
Yeah, Ghost can't even get his BKB done before he has to come back and defend this final building. Mega creeps at 23 minutes. I mean, you're not playing that game out. I just refuse to believe.
Oh, Nigma will play it out. They always play the game out.
Smoke to the back line. Wrapping around. Ghost leading the charge through the mid lane to see if he can get on top of
a support. Got to find a Jakiro,
I guess.
Keep her the lights. You don't get blinding. Oh, Boxy's out. Okay. No coddle. Time to strike. They don't know that, though. Unlucky.
That is power play.
Okay, yeah,
9 buildings within that Aegis timer.
What? That might be the best Aegis I've seen in a long time.
Yeah, buildings-wise, for sure. Nigma gave up so many of the buildings, they didn't actually, in some ways, lose that much network because they were just farming out on the map, knowing they couldn't fight.
The downside is the BKBs are done here for Liquid.
Yeah.
That might be the nail in the coffin. You have to find something right now. This BKB for the Morphling's flying out.
It's got to be the most perfect supernova that, like, baits the enemy to go for it, but somehow barely survives.
It's tough. It's tough here. We have seen them pull out some magic, though. Let's not write them off, Austin.
I don't think there are too many miracles left on Nigma, though.
That was a deep cut, unnecessary. You're going to hear about that one after this game.
If anything, you can say there goes to their former selves. The toss up in the air. It's just
over.
too good for Liquid. That is the knockout punch you need.
Okay.
GH can't even relocate one of the heroes out in time. Nigma, they may not call the GG, but it's coming their way regardless.
It's just, you can't blame them. Like, how are you supposed to find an angle, right? It feels impossible. And BKB's going to come out here.
And they will fight it out, but they're not doing any damage to Liquid. So
I mean, you could say like, oh, this draft is just completely terrible. They got stomped, blah, blah, blah. I don't think it's necessarily about that, but I think the points at which you have to execute this Nigma lineup are in those first 5.
Much congratulations.
They're about to go from 4-0 to 1-3 now. I'm not going to curse. To me, this is a Kuro Classic, like, call it.
Okay. Well, you already gave us one Kuro Classic. What's Kuro Classic number 2?
You see Magnus, you push him. You take all his towers. You take away all the space. He has nowhere to farm. He crumbles and he loses. And that's what the Pugna does. He takes your towers, Austin. He gives you no space, no room, no camps, no freedom, nothing. Wow. Takes it all. That's what this pick is designed to do. I think this is a game that Nigma have to push. Take the tempo, take the pace, take the tower, take the space, take the win, go next series, take that 2, go all the way, take it all, defy the haters.
All the way to the finals.
Take the first ticket back. It's one of those, but they're taking something here. And it's a very risky pick. Very risky. These push strats versus Magnus, if you remember, there was a meta where the Magnus PA was really big, and one of the answers eventually kind of morphed into this IO Lesh of like, you just push with the Leshrac. And Leshrac became a very popular mag answer for the same reason. Pugna can do that. He can really abuse the pace here. Magnus in the mid is a lot slower than this Pugna. You're going to give Pugna a completely free lane. It's a hero you can rotate to and just take objectives, even if you don't have the kill threat. And you have some really fast heroes to play with it. The Coddle accelerates the game. The Centaur can win his lane, accelerate the game. Luna, another side laner that wins its lane and accelerates the game and is really good at playing in these push strats. That's what I see on the table here for Nigma, and if they can execute that, I think they actually have a decent shot to win. But that level of execution is very high. If you misstep once, if you go off that tightrope, there is an infinite amount of scale and team fight waiting for you on this side of Liquid that will immediately take over and make your life very miserable.
Long way to the bottom. Big plummet. To support some of that idea, we did see Sumail in the post-drafting phase before we got into the game. He was bouncing back and forth. First blood is going to go to Nigma this time around.
That's what you want to see. You just want a fast start here. And this is a way stronger laning phase for them. They are not going to lose lanes here.
Nice fear shot into the stomp.
In fact, I think the other way around. I think this Centaur lane is almost unlosable.
Okay.
For Silencer. I think the Luna lane is quite strong. That one is very mixed for Darkseer, but generally the Luna should farm. Even though Darkseer can kill her later, and it's a good matchup for Darkseer.
Listen, from what I've seen from Silencer lately, I would not be like so whole hog about them definitely winning that lane.
It's a win, Austin.
I feel like Silencers have been pretty potent in the lanes lately.
Austin, I have a doctor standing by right now to sell my kidneys that I have bet on that lane winning.
Okay.
I have that much faith in it.
Wait, are you getting somebody else's kidneys if you win? Deadshot back into him. Mickey low, but they do manage to get the kill first onto Centaur, meaning that Liquid is winning the lane. Doctor!
Just stay back. The time is not there yet.
Lane's not over yet, sir. Please, hold on.
Yeah, let's come back to this lane in a few minutes. We'll see how it develops.
All right.
Let's not write in too soon here.
Yeah, there is current core score at bottom lane is 9-2 for the PA versus 9-0 for the Centaur.
It's even so far. Let's not get too ahead of ourselves.
Okay. Sumail was bouncing back and forth between the two facets, Siphoning Ward and Rewards of Ruin, the one where you get Spell Amp for every tower taken.
Because he's thinking, I got to take all the towers.
I don't know if he was seriously considering it at all, but if there was even a thought that occurred to him to go that facet, that definitely supports they want to push the tempo as much as possible. Fighting over the Lotuses here. Do they win this fight, though? Ghost, he barely managed to get the kill just at the tail end of it. Now Boxy, it's a one-on-one against GH and Shadow Shaman in a one-on-one. He wins those.
More gold for Ghost, though. And a lot of XP Saberlights missed generally hurts the Darkseer a lot. I think Nigma are okay with that. I don't think they were going to win that trade outright anyway. That's a pretty hard man-up when you're just gap-closing Darkseer Shaman.
I mean, I think it probably depends on, still a little TBD, right? What do you get done with this Lotus?
I mean, this Darkseer, he's level 2. I mean, the Lotus isn't as good if the Darkseer dies. Because now do you even want to give it to him? He's full resources. A little awkward there, a little awkward.
I mean, we'll see. We'll see if they get into another fight.
Let's not, you know,
let's not call the lanes yet, Doctor.
Let's also not go to bottom because that's not going well. Let's look at mid.
Let's look at mid, shall we?
This is the lane that Nigma can play through to try and even up this series right now.
Oh, stomp on 2. Now that looks very pretty. And a double edge to finish him off. Omar maybe traded here, but Mickey's going to take a lot of damage if he commits to this kill. A dead shot back in. Now he's going to be... Oh, he lived! Oh!
Austin, pay the man.
Pay the man. I'm not paying him my kidney. I didn't bet on this.
Austin, pay the man.
Get your hands off me. Don't touch me.
I mean, easy lanes for Nigma right now. They are definitely... They are definitely favored. In fact, they should write that in the all chat. Yeah, see, this is Mickey's reaction to the draft from earlier. He got picked into this lane, and he said, "What is this lane, Blitz? I cannot win this lane. It's impossible." This is where I expect them to be. I actually thought the Centaur lane would go a little better, to be honest, but they're doing just fine. You want to be ahead with this lineup. For Liquid, this is a game of bend, don't break, right? They are okay being behind in lanes.
Yeah.
It's not an end-all be-all for the draft. They have Magnus, Darkseer, Silencer. This is not a speedy lineup by any means. They can fall behind and still make the comeback team fights. You just don't want to give up too much in this early game and let Nigma run you over, because you are going to lose towers. Like, your ability to stop Pugna taking your towers with the heroes you have is incredibly dependent on either bringing everybody or this Magnus having an early Blink Dagger.
Bryle about to pick up his level 6. You can see Boxy is here on standby, but GH was also coming over. Deep Ward got placed in the triangle here. Gonna RP him back into the tower here. Silenced up by the Muerta. They do manage to get the shackles on him anyway. Bryle's not sure if he can commit or not. Samael, he's gonna be able to turn around, get off the blast. A little bit of life drain. Not enough to get the kill on Bryle, but he is healthy. Now Insania came in from the bottom lane to go after Omar, who tried to get a dead shot hit onto the Magnus. It misses.
That was hype. It wasn't actually close, but that was hype.
Okay, it's GH who dies. Nobody dies but the support. Meanwhile, Saberlight did die in the top lane while we had that mid-action going on.
Yeah, that's huge for Ghost. That's the biggest thing that happened in that entire sequence.
Yeah.
Ghost just ran him down. This
He's
Luna...
at 3,500 net worth already on the Luna.
He's 2 levels ahead almost. I mean, he's a monster. He's going to get the next Lotus as well. Yeah, best thing that happened for Nigma in that mid-fight was top lane. Do you get the RP out of Bryle? That is a minor victory, because now you can play it more aggressive, your Sumail.
For sure.
And look at this tier 1 mid. It's already basically dead. You just can't stop this if you're Liquid. These towers are going to go down. So you're going to have to operate with less space. That's going to be the real interesting thing about this game, is how much of that space can Nigma take away. It's one thing to take the towers down. It's another to occupy that space and use it.
Right.
And deny it from Liquid. Because when you close that map out, they're able to group up faster than you on average. They're able to bring more heroes to the really important positions like the Ancient Camps.
You're guaranteed to get the mid tower, but can you get into the triangle? Which is where GH's ward could be really important.
Can you hold that triangle? Right. More important. You get the deny too, that's also big. You can secure these denies and take away the team gold.
Noob. Not quite level 6, but no stuns between the duo of Mickey and Insania. He'll cancel the TP so he can stay around in lane.
So you're either looking to rotate this Pugna bottom now, or go into the triangle if you feel like there's some stacks, which there are some stacks here.
Yeah, and they know about him. Again, that high ground ward is giving him a lot of information. Saberlight's going to come over as well.
Again, respect the numbers though, right? Do not want to overextend.
Bottom lane, dead shot back into the calling, and double edges.
I mean,
just too much damage.
This has been a dead lane for Liquid since the start of the game. Another
RP. It's back up into play, and caught Samael.
He just walks up and finds him?
He managed to get the wall, pull back in from both the vacuum and the shockwave there. Ghost is going to be grabbed by the Boxy. Oh, dead shot back over to the Magnus. They get the return kill. So Ghost may have died, but at least they got that match. And what a blast from GH.
Does he know they're there?
He just treed 2 of them.
Blast him.
He's going for it. Now he still has the... Okay, they've taken away the foul play. They've also taken away the rest of the stack.
GH God.
GH just got so much for that.
He's not even laughing. This is like the guy, he's not even laughing about it, you know? He's so serious all the time. It's like, of course I expected that to happen.
Yeah, GH known for his stone face.
Oh, if they can steal this ancient stack.
Yeah.
That's some extra juice right there. Yeah, they're going to get it. I mean, not the cleanest sequence from Nigma, let's be honest.
No.
But they got there in the end.
They did.
I'm still a little suspect how this Shaman managed to just walk up to the Pugna and just full duration shackle him into RP.
Yeah.
Like, you're the fastest hero on the map. You know, it shouldn't be that easy, but you do have more.
I don't think Saberlight realized how many heroes are here. Ooh, look at that burst damage off the Decrepify.
You can see how much Nigma's trying to hold these areas. Downside of... Okay, so the downside of moving to this triangle... Well, the upside is you can test the stacks, which is really good.
Yeah.
Downside is you're not contesting the PA when she's very vulnerable in this early game. And can get forced off the lane super easily, right? And if you delay that Battle Fury, maybe the stacks don't matter as much. And you're not taking that safe lane tower. You can take this off lane tower, however, which is not as unvaluable as it used to be because you're freeing up the Wisdom Rune and all that goodness.
I can't believe that high ground ward is still there.
Yeah, that is great.
It has stayed up this entire time. Nigma has so much vision around this mid and top lane.
They want the 10-minute power rune. Probably 10-minute power rune into the swing for the bottom tier 1. That would be ideal here. And you always have this recall on the Pugna for the extra mana. So Sumail shouldn't have to go to base too much in this game, which is the other really nice aspect here. This is why this Pugna is guaranteed to get these tier 1s. There's just no downtime. This PA is still very susceptible. Like, it is very difficult for Mickey to join these early fights. This is not a game. This is a game where he has to be very careful about how aggressive he is, which normally he's a very aggressive carry.
Yes.
You go in these fights and get hit by these nukes, man. Lucent Beam, Blast, Coddle Blast, Dead Shot. You're not having a fun time. Where was that Ice Shaman going? Man, he's taking a stroll. Tier 1 bottom getting swarmed on right now, and this blink for the mag got delayed because of that lane matchup. This is a free tower. You don't even need the Pugna here. They're actually looking for more.
Yeah, this is the nice. They know the tower is guaranteed, so they're going to try and hunt down the Phantom Assassin, farming next to the... Oh, no, the neutrals!
Not like this.
Raph, get in here! What was that interference?
I mean, those things just auto go no matter what. They're incredibly annoying. That might have been a kill with the...
It might have been.
Actually, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. He doesn't have solar body, so I don't know how likely this kill is. Probably not.
It was really funny.
You do have to remember, though, in all these kind of plays, you have Stampede. Let's say he's a little closer there.
Yeah.
You could Stampede him in and just suck off the speed, you know?
Yeah.
Why does it always end like that, man?
I don't know what you're talking about. 5-9, 3,000 net worth lead for Nigma Galaxy as they are pushing into tier 2s now.
Why not? You just chalker this Pugna. It's super fast.
Yeah,
honestly, not that inefficient, especially if Liquid comes. Like, Liquid has two options. They can take the fight and risk it, or you just split push, drop wards on a tier 1, get something out of the trade. I think Boxy being here is honestly pretty... I mean, it's pretty bad for him because I think you could be trading for a tower with these snakes. Like, you're getting to clean up a wave, you're not dying. I think you should be dying here, to be honest, too. Liquid kind of getting away with a lot right now. They're getting to farm the PA mid. They're getting to push people out of top.
Yeah, there's heroes off map. They don't know whether or not the mag has the Blink Dagger, right? The Blink Dagger on mag is the one way they can punish Nigma Galaxy
the problem
sieging towers.
You're blasting this anyway. So if he has Blink and you're smoking the Blink down here, the Pugna is going to get skewered no matter what.
Sure.
So I feel like you'd rather just dive, get Boxy out of here.
Well, they're going to dead shot him out of position there. That was really nicely played, but the TP out is even better.
The blast missed too. Nonetheless, this is what you're looking for. Like, don't let him sit here. That's the more important part. And now you're going to get this tier 2. If you can somehow think about the Wisdom Rune as well, that'd be super nice, but I don't know if they're in map position for it. And again, Liquid just trying to get these lanes in as much as possible.
They still haven't gotten any towers.
It's pretty hard for them to get towers this game.
Well, good thing for Saberlight, he went into the enemy jungle, found 3 bounty runes, so that is not insignificant.
That is very significant.
Agreed.
Thank you.
750 gold for Team Liquid.
Some might say more than unsignificant, but less than very significant. Blink done for the mag, instant RP.
And straight to Sumail. Now, Stampede's going to go off, and with the Decrepify, he has a chance. He will live.
Nice RP, noob.
No, he's on Nigma Galaxy. It's the offlaner. See? He's got his blink dagger soon.
I'm not rewarding that. Like, I'm just going to dead air you until you feel shame.
I don't. I will
Yeah,
never
I know.
feel
That's your
shame.
problem. You've never felt shame once.
They are going to be able to contest the Wisdom Rune despite you saying otherwise.
Yeah, this is
free.
It's
pretty good.
They've got this.
They got there in the end. Get a lot of what you want right now.
Battle Fury is coming in soon-ish for Mickey. But it is still like you get the Battle Fury, but do you have the space to actually farm with it?
And do you have the courage to use it?
Well, it's kind of automatic, so. Oh.
That's a big.
Oh, ole! Bryle whiffing the skewer.
I mean, he has to land these plays. These plays are pivotal for Liquid.
Oh, just on the edge. They do manage to get the Hex just in the nick of time.
That's a 5-man move, though.
Radiant's middle tower
It is.
under attack.
Still, you're looking at this net worth lead. It's not growing as much for Nigma as I think they would want it to be. The supports haven't found as much either. Committed a lot in terms of rotations for that early game. Now you have to capitalize on your space. This is where I go back to that idea, right? You take all these towers, you get deep wards out.
Yeah.
You have to use that for something, though. You can't just do all that and then trade farm.
Okay. So you're thinking they should move back to the top lane where they've got this nice deep lane ward?
I mean, the easiest way to do it when you have this type of map setup is just set up multiple points of kill threat.
Okay. What are our combos for
Yeah, that's
Nick
what you kind of
McGallis?
look for. I mean, your best setup is this Centaur. You can play the supports behind Centaur, look for kills pretty easily. Then the Pugna has to play alone, which might not be ideal. I just don't know if the Pugna is giving you kill threat, really, because you don't have Solarbind Coddle, you don't have Atos on the Morta yet.
Yeah.
I think with Atos on the Morta, then you can start to play with the Pugna a bit more. They're just going to look for the Tormentor down here. You can keep just pushing objectives, too. That's totally fine.
Caught the Muerta. He got off his ultimate, but he is shackled. A lot of magic damage. Bryle does not need to use the RP.
He just got the shard, too, so that's an extra net worth buff going towards Liquid.
That's true. Stomp on two. Noob stampedes through them. Slowed him down. Now, Sumail wasn't in position to really get too much done from that stomp because the reverberating silence, the global silence comes in almost immediately.
Cancel TV by Ghost as well.
But at least they get that global silence out of the way so they can start getting aggressive again. And they're going to run right into Insania. But damage from the Ion Shell stops the blink.
Yeah, I mean, now you really have to try and find something. With global on cooldown, you do not want to be losing or having an equal trade of net worth on the map while PA is recovering. That is just not going to feel great right now, especially when you're so much stronger. Especially with that shard going to the Morta. It's kind of just dead network. A little unlucky.
It is concerning for me because I remember Insania, who is, I believe, president of the Nigma Galaxy fan club.
Oh.
He says that Nigma Galaxy oftentimes looks like the best team in the world for the first 20 minutes and then kind of falls apart in the mid game. Would you agree with that?
Oh, is that a direct quote?
That would be a direct quote.
Okay.
Word for word.
That's good to know. That Insania is always thinking of his competition.
Yeah.
Sandbagging the matchups before he plays them, you know?
Do you agree with that? Because I agree. I do feel like Nigma Galaxies struggle sometimes in the mid game. Or actually, most of the times. That is their biggest weakness, I feel.
I would phrase it that I don't think early game is their problem.
Okay. Are we having a significance?
I have been impressed with their early game consistency.
Yes, of course.
Top tower is under attack.
I see the vice president of the Nigma Galaxy fan club is here joining us on the cast. Doesn't want to say a negative word about them.
I mean, at this point, I can't say something negative about any team. You know about how many organizations' bosses have called me at this point? The list is
At least
long.
2 of them. Stomp on 2 again from Noob. Global silence again from Liquid. The response with the wall really doesn't do too much unless Bryle can find something for it. He does manage to get an RP onto the Pugna. Smells right in the middle of all this one. Can they finish him off, though, before the Decrepify, for the Life Drain? They're not killing him quickly, and now they're turning around. The Life Drain starts going off. He starts keeping himself alive. Mickey is there to finish the job. Meanwhile, Noob is stuck inside of a Serpent Ward trap. Saberlight's in there with him. He'll just casually TP away and let the rest of Liquid finish the job. Oh, another Skewer back. Bryle, he found GH this time around. A third kill. Yeah, they've got this one.
This is not what you want to see if you are a Nigma fan, because again, this game can turn into Liquid's favor so fast. You're trying to get this BKB on the Luna. You're not there yet. You end up in a 4v5 in a very awkward position. I mean, one of the issues with their lineup is they just don't really have an answer to the Blink Skewer. There's no real instance stun. Stampede doesn't bail you out if you're already getting skewered. And the silences, man, they have been completely debilitating for Sumail.
Yeah.
He does not have a Dispel. He's trying to get Greaves on this Pugna. That's where we see that mech came off. But the Greaves is not done. 0 Dispel. He just gets all these annoying spells thrown at him by Insania, and he can't do anything for so long in that engagement.
Yeah. The reverberating silence really brought this hero back into a place that he hasn't been in a long time, which is a tier 1 Dota meta.
Oh, yeah. I hadn't thought about that.
Silencer is usually not a good hero in most patches, but
I hadn't noticed over the 12 years I've played this game.
If you had to guess, how many of those years was Silencer viable of the 12 years you played?
I know how many.
How many?
I tried to play him every match.
Okay, so how many?
Around 3
Sumail
months.
gets caught by the Skewer. Force Staff immediately Stampede, trying to pull him away, but what a hit from Saberlight. Got a really nice wall vacuum.
Too.
And now the follow-up from Mickey. He's got a BKB, so he can just full-on commit. Goes after Ghost. Ghost into the trees, trying to dodge away, but Mickey sticking on to him. Does manage to dodge a little bit slow. BKB is worn out, but now the Global Sound's going to get pushed to use. Roche is coming right through the middle of the battlefield, separating Nigma from their noob Centaur, who's right in the front. A blast goes out, not enough to kill Mickey. Nobody quite dead yet. Skewer putting 2 together to hit the RP. Bryle, what a heads-up play by him, seeing the opportunity for the and one.
Man, making plays out here. Swift pickup with that haste rune makes it look easy. I mean, this game has just completely flipped. You can't throw these team fights in that transitionary period with this lineup.
What time is it, Avery, on the game
impossible.
What time is it?
I believe that says 20 minutes, 47 seconds.
Right past the 20-minute marker, it seems.
They just didn't get to the fighting items fast enough. Like the BKB on the Luna, the Dispel on the Pugna, they just never had these in these team fights. And they did not manage to take Insania out early on to secure the team fight for those spellcasters. It just feels a little disconnected.
Yeah.
Liquid are gobbling him up, man. Like they have a healing, they have ores, they have tanky cores.
Yeah.
You can see the frustration here.
Liquid did a great job of playing that slow, right? They hit the Skewer, but then they don't use all of their abilities at once, right? The BKB goes off from Mickey. As soon as the BKB is down, they use the Global Silence, right? And then, you know, we don't even get the RP until the end of the entire thing when Bryle finds that 2-man open.
And the disengage mechanics are just not working for Nigma. They are stampeding Sumail out of these skewers, but he's still shackled at the end of it.
Yeah.
Like this Armstrong shackle. So, yeah, this is
talking about Stretch Armstrong.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
You didn't even talk about Lance Armstrong?
I just want to make the reference clear to the audience at home. It's a really long shackles.
Yeah. Anyway, this is the next obvious play. If the team fights aren't working, force Liquid into you.
Bryle, another Stampede going to be put to use here, trying to get Noob himself out of position as they go. No. Saberlight's into the pin. He took away the Aegis. He does it again.
From bad to worse, man.
Grand Theft Aegis, the second time Saberlight has pulled it off and land for Liquid this season.
I mean, sometimes when things are going bad, they just go worse. When it rains, it pours. And right now, this game is not going Nigma Galaxy's way. That was, I think that was one of your big last shots to regain momentum in this game. Not that it's just completely over, but that one, could have that gone worse, I guess is the argument. Like, that's your Luna BKB timing to force the Roshan. And you end up losing both your big cores and you lose the Aegis.
Dire's bottom tower has fallen.
Nasty, nasty stuff from Saberlight out here.
That's a bad man right there doing bad things. Nigma Galaxy have been mugged and stolen from and now they're down 4K.
I mean, the man took their lunch money.
He certainly did.
That's a rough. You have to BKB that if you're Ghost. Like, you cannot let Darkseer run up to you like that.
Yeah.
Just misplays, I think, and it costs you so much here. Like, you're down 4K, but it feels like a lot. This is a Magnus PA Darkseer.
Yeah, as soon as they get...
it's not fun to play into the late game.
As soon as they get more space on the map, they're just going to massively outfarm you, not to mention the late game problem that you're talking about there. As GH gets found trying to TP out, will eventually be run down.
This Pugna is just going to be food in these fights. This Pugna was not an all-in pick for the early game, but he's a momentum pick. He also went Greaves 4-staff. And it's not an easy Pugna game in the Silencer. It's one of the worst matchups for this hero.
Yeah, you combine the way that PA can get on top of the Pugna, and then combine that with Global Silence where he can't defend himself very easily with Decrepify, then you've got an easy kill combo.
Yeah, I do not think Sumail is comfortable in his position. 1-3-0. He's been involved in 1 kill.
Yeah, that's pretty bad. So rough times out there for the King.
Oh yeah.
As soon he's going to be dealing with a nullifier.
You have to rely on Ghost right here. Have to set the fight up in a way where the Luna can just deal an absurd amount of damage. Have Mickey blink in, get a good stun on him, just unleash these beams, set the fight up that way. And you cannot clump if you're Nigma Galaxy here. You need to keep formation well, because if you get vacuumed, if you get RP'd, the other one's going to find you, and then you're just in a world of pain.
Ryle. Sneaky little play. They tried to go for a Surge Glimmer Cape and then blink into the base. Fish for an opening, but Sentry does spot him.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Well, at least Nigma is out on the map. Noob, he's still farming up the top part. You can see a couple heroes down at bottom. Ghost, he's going to have to do a lot here.
Bottom tower.
We'll see how effective that Moon Shield facet is for him, because he's the only one getting space. Now the Noob has been caught in top lane.
It feels like the big items are coming in for Liquid right now after that Roshan. Ag's done for the Darkseer. Ag's almost done for the Magnus. You already have your Glimmer Aether Lens on the Shaman. This PA is going to be close to another item, and your next big ones on the side of Nigma is pretty much the Butterfly for the Luna. That is something you can rally behind.
How is the Luna going to carry this game against Darkseer, though? You're going up against your own Wall Illusion, and now the Aghanim Scepter is done on Saberlight. So, double illusions he's going to be contending with. Insania just interrupts them trying to go through the game. Saberlight, he gets there in time, put the punch on GH.
A little bouncer action. Punch him back through the door. No entry for you. I mean, if you're Ghost, you just got to pretend this is like your average SCA pub, you know? 1v9. 1v11 in some situations.
Yeah. What? Who are the extra two?
I'll let you decide.
Is it me and you? Or what? Noob, slow down. Nullifier placed upon him. Stampede is not dispellable, so...
It's all the haters. All the haters.
I think there's more than 2 of them out there, let me just say.
I rounded down.
You're reading some of the Reddit threads.
I rounded very down.
Ag's almost done for Bryle.
Oh boy.
Commitment there. Vacuum on 2. Oh, he tried to get it. The calling stops the immediate RP. Still hits the RP onto Sumail alone.
This is very
But he's already used the skewer, so this is kind of wasted situation. Saberlight throws down the wall, I think, just to try and protect Bryle from being punished. They got to get out of here. This was a failed execution from Liquid. Nigma Galaxy, maybe an opportunity presents itself here.
That is about as good as a fight can start if you're Nigma. Like, you bait out a lot of ults, you bait out the mag jump, he gets hit by some clutch silence or interrupt. You're able to save the Pugna. They are going to smoke here, try and make the most of the moment. I mean, good opportunity. No RP, no vacuum wall, no global silence, no shaman wards.
Yeah. I think in some ways, Liquid may have fumbled that fight like too hard though, because it's so obvious that Nigma Galaxy is going to try and take a fight against you now. They're going to try and smoke out and catch you. You can see Liquid are either playing inside their base or on the hard edges of the map.
Yeah, but if you don't play on the map, you lose objectives, Austin. Easy wisdom.
I guess so. That's Ghost, level 20. Soon to be 21, soon to have a butterfly. So he will be able to handle his own illusions a little bit better. The rest of his team, well, they're just going to have to fend for themselves.
Butterfly not great for the illusions. Quite good for him versus the PA. Nullifier already done for Mickey. That is a item designed to shred the Pugna and shred the supports. This is a Pugna's nightmare right here. You get hit by that, you're just done.
Yeah.
So you're going to have to rally behind this Butterfly and look towards that next Roshan in a minute or two.
Well, you took their shrine, but Boxy in turn still got...
That's a very early BKB.
Oh, no. Okay. They do.
Oh, heads up.
GH, good play. He recalls himself to Ghost. And as a result, they'll get the Shadow Shaman and the gem.
That's big. You're looking for map control right now to contest this next Roshan. Also helps your glimmers, all that good stuff. Saberlight.
Don't get lazy with it, though. Liquid are still looking for an opening here. They think there's a ward on the high ground. There's not. Nigma is just having a good read of situation, playing defensively.
I mean, they could still be aggressive here. You have a 5-on-4 near your base, and you kind of have some vision control. Yeah, Ghost, he's poking
and Ludo
out.
with the extra night vision is going to spot Bryle as he was coming down from the triangle. But I think Liquid also got a read of that.
Gotta take risks here if you're Nigma. This is a good chance to try and find something.
Saberlight wants to go back into him. Oh, blink away just before any spell can land. He's gone. Nigma, they blew Eclipse for that. That was the opening. That was the moment.
Man, so close to being exactly what you wanted, and yet so far.
That one hurt, man.
Now you're going to go into this next Roshan with your ults down instead of the other way around. And the Acceptors are done for Liquid. Now they're the ones getting aggressive. Yes, swung completely back the other way. You lose your night vision. Now you're in a very defensive position. Horn toss dodged.
I think
baiting a fight onto the Centaur not necessarily bad.
Sees an opportunity. He sees a lot of heroes. Doesn't hit a vacuum. Doesn't hit a wall. Now he's been stealthed up in the volley. He's dead shot back into him. He doesn't do a damn thing. Meanwhile, Noob kept the rest of Liquid at bay with his Lotus Orb Blade Mail. Mickey sees an opportunity to go after Samael with a Nullifier. Couldn't finish him off, though. Now he goes back to the RP instead with the Empower shots. Omar might be the one victim of this one, but the BKB, that's going to be on cooldown. Mickey still tries to go for it with the Saberlight coming back into play with the buyback. He had a beautiful vacuum wall combination that allows Mickey to get on the offensive. They take 2 kills out of that equation. A buyback forced out of Omar. Not anything he's going to get out of it. In fact, Samael, he may still die. Grep Flight going to be used onto him. Saberlight hits him with the punch, stopping the light drain. Stuck inside the Silence for a little while. Deadshot hits onto the Dark Seer, but Samael still going to be run down underneath the tier 3. GH even has to fear for his life approaching the steps of the fountain.
That's such a tough fight with a Darkseer buyback onto the outpost. He's just there so fast. Honestly, another fight that is not that well executed by Liquid.
No.
They just have such a teamfight advantage. If you can't find these big core targets like the PA or something, just so much AoE to fight through here on the side of Nigma, and you only have that one Luna BKB to do it. Just not enough sustain in the tank. The Pugna's running away from this Nullifier the whole time.
Good play by Saberlight to make use of that buyback, which will ensure them Roshan.
Mega worth it here. And just no contest available. Timers are too long. It's the Rosh you can end the game with. Absolutely. This little banner, Aegis for Mickey. Satanic already done. This P is almost level 25. Whew.
Nigma did push out with a smoke.
I mean, but what are you looking for?
Without their carry.
Like, yeah, what are you looking for?
He's going to recall in Omar.
You're looking for the backstab, trying to find the Magnus.
Yeah, kill the. I mean, if you kill the Silencer right at the start, right?
Oh, they're gonna follow
his courier. Follow his courier straight to where the Silencer is at.
You want Silencer?
Get the opening on him. You could burst him down. No global Silencer worry. It would be big. 2-man stomp. but not the silencer. Meanwhile, Mickey went straight to Samael. Doesn't finish him off. He goes back to Ghost instead with the rest of his BKB. The punch goes out, get an extra illusion of Ghost. Ghost stuck inside the Serpent Ward trap. Boxy from behind. Beautiful positioning that catches Ghost on the retreat. And now the RP is going to land. That is the final nail in the coffin for Samael and the rest of Nigma Galaxy in this fight, as they will try in vain to fight this out. But Mickey is just too strong for them. Nullifier put onto Samael. He backs away, but he just can't get away from the Phantom Assassin. Whether it's him or it's Saberlight, he will die one way or the other.
2 lives still available for Mickey. He is just going to clean house. It's just too much team fight to get through, man. You just don't have the firepower. Needed to be more ahead. It did not happen. That Insania quote will come back to haunt them, apparently. As he was absolutely right.
And Liquid go to the high ground, forced buybacks, but those 2 heroes, it's not going to be enough by itself. And if they die here, it could just be the end of the game. They get back to the fountain successfully, drawing a couple of precious seconds away from Liquid in this assault on the high ground.
I am impressed that Sumail is able to survive these fights.
He has been doing a good job surviving longer than I thought.
I thought he'd just be getting obliterated in a couple of hits from Mickey. He was actually living an okay amount.
Mickey swapping in his BKB. It is off cooldown, putting the treads in the backpack while the Aegis is still up for 2 minutes and 50 seconds.
Just so much team fight cover as well. That's a great Centaur stomp. You got the Magnus and the Darkseer. And then you can't do anything because Global covers it.
Yeah, you can't blame Noob on the initiations. He's hit stellar ones, I think, the entire game.
It's just too many targets you have to... I mean, you need a 4 or 5 man hoof stomp at this point, I guess.
Yeah, well, see if Liquid ever gives it to him. Soon you're going to be dealing with Nullifier and a Basher or an Abyssal. With level 25 coming in soon for Mickey as well.
He is massive.
Samael's going to have to pull out all the stops because he is public enemy #1.
What stops are those?
Well, one stop is Greaves, the other stop is Forstaff, the third stop is Gale Guard, and it seems a 4th stop, a little detour to Blink Dagger.
Oh, yeah, I mean that is one way to just dodge it. Blink away from the Nullifier.
Yeah.
What's going on here?
Yeah, Ryle then immediately realized his smoke was popped.
Look at a Tormentor.
Oh, yeah.
Didn't see that one coming, did ya, Liquid?
No, I don't think they did. They've got 2 recalls. I don't know if they'll be able to really use those in the upcoming team fight. Banner and Wards dropped on the mid lane.
Still have Aegis for a minute here.
Ryle tries to go for the hard toss, misses. Wadabatos into the calling, trying to get him to use his BKB here with the dead shot.
Yeah, you got to get the BKB there.
Doesn't get the BKB out of him.
No Centaur stomp. He knew it. Holds on to it. That's a lane. Free lane.
Liquid realizing that they are operating under a ward. And we've seen this story before. Ghost farming the bottom lane, trying desperately to get to the next item before Liquid closes out the game. This Satanic is almost here.
He gets a lot of farms and decent tower pressure. You get the Satanic here. Maybe you can make something happen.
Maybe.
Maybe you can make that.
Maybe he runs into Insania.
Maybe you land 5-man hoof stomp.
Maybe a 5-man hoof stomp into a... Okay, recall is happening. GH is going to recall himself to Ghost.
Sneaky.
And then pull more heroes in. And somehow Insania makes the read, and it's going to be the mid lane where the pickoff happens instead. Nigma were working real hard to try and get a pickoff on the side of the map and instead give it up in mid.
Feels like Liquid have just been a little bit ahead of all these moves in the series.
Yeah.
They're just 30 seconds faster, especially that game 1. This game, they weren't faster in the early game, but they didn't have to win it. Just a matter of resist until we can turn the game around with the PA-BKB. Since then, they've just been a little ahead on all these moves.
A lot can happen in 30 seconds.
That's true. Satanic is done. Another missed jump.
Not quite going out. Serpent wards will start chipping away at the buildings.
I mean, again, you'd love to be able to smoke and find the backline here.
I mean, they're doing this without the Aegis.
Dire's top barracks has
Nigma, Omar's back up in 4 seconds, but it seems like they're just going to give this entire thing up.
fallen. Are under attack.
Down to one final lane now.
Is this a game where you just lose a Rax to a Serpent Wards, and then you lose another Rax to a Serpent Wards, and then you lose another Rax to
Yeah, I
another
mean, at this
Serpent
rate, they're going to win the fight at bottom lane, but lose the barracks to Serpent Wards and Wall Illusions and whatever else, right? It's going to be Pyrrhic victory, even if they can win.
I do think this is the easiest lane to defend as Dire.
Yeah, why's that?
The way the tree line works with the gate there is really awkward to invade. I've seen a lot of fights go bad.
Oh, trying to find Bryle. I mean, honestly, even if they could get in position for the hoof stomp, it would require Bryle not to use his BKB.
Yeah, that's the problem. Your stun follow-up is terrible. You don't have a Hex or anything. It's a Lucent Beam or Dead Shot.
Dead Shot
Like,
back
basically,
in. It just doesn't last.
The Luna has to be on the target when the hoof stomp lands.
Yeah.
Which is really difficult here because he doesn't have a blink of his own, doesn't have a Hurricane Pike. Your aggressive options are pretty limited. You'd almost rather have Liquid go on your Luna and then hoof stomp somebody so the Luna's already in the mix.
Particularly since he has
Satanic turn around.
Yeah, Satanic, yeah.
That is a way better setup if the Luna can survive the jump, which it might be doable. That's just why Magnus is an annoying hero. You can't take defensive fights versus Magnus because he just breaks your formation. So it's like, okay, well, that's a nice conceptual design.
Yeah. I feel like deja vu right now. Liquid, one lane of barracks left. Go up to the Dire triangle. Nigma push into them, hit the stomp on a Bryle. Dead shot follow up. There's a chain stun, but again.
Oh, you have feared up the stairs instead of.
And even still, how does the Luna get aggressive on that situation, knowing that Saberlight is just going to blink on you and punch you right away?
Liquid also just don't have to do anything with the creeps going to the base. They can always just wait for the creep pressure to force Nigma back. They can wait for next Roshan if they really want to win this game.
Yeah. And it seems like that may be the case at this rate, unless they ever find an opening.
Okay, Ogre Seal Totem. Now there's an Ogre Seal Totem in. Not the fastest, but it is a gap close. And then we get the Will-O-Wisp. So you Ogre Seal Totem in, and you Will-O-Wisp drag him towards the Luna, and you hoof stomp that guy.
Uh-huh.
Easy money.
And he's got to do 4,000 damage in 2 seconds?
You don't worry about the whole picture, Austin.
Okay. Let's just focus on getting the details. Oh my God. I mean, that was the end of the game right there. He does not have buyback.
Why didn't he move? I don't understand.
He
didn't move.
Found his hiding spot, man. Yeah.
If he wasn't in, he saw him with the ward.
In a game of hide and go seek, you have to find your hiding spot. And you have to stay there.
There wasn't a sentry. Yeah, there wasn't. Okay, never mind. He actually didn't. I thought there was.
Portos catches Samael. Chains with the punch. And more intelligence lost. Global Silence was put to use there, which is how we got that intelligence, which we figured that out at Dream League, huh?
Yes, though that spell was bugged. In my defense, it was bugged and not working entirely properly, which we only learned later.
Aghanim Scepter done for the Muerta. That's a big team fight spell.
Yeah, they have the team fight. They have the support axe here.
And there's the Will-O-Wisp as well. If you can get the combination of the Will-O-Wisp pulling them in and fearing them away from hitting the Will-O-Wisp.
That's 100 gold for Mickey.
Circle wards with the siege wagons. I mean, this is what we were talking about. Oh, there's the skewer back onto 2. GH does manage to get a force snap, but he pulled back in by the vacuum symbol. They both will die. Nigma left with just 3 to defend after the buyback from Noob.
Where did he come from, man?
Came up the side.
Slithering.
Stomp, he goes straight into the wall. And they are going to be pushed back into a wall, back into a corner. Nigma Galaxy, the skewers just keep on hitting from Bryle. He is putting heroes clumped up together. Ghost fights for his life underneath his moon shield, but it is not good enough to defend against the damage that Mickey provides. 36-13 is the end score as Liquid go up 2-0 over Nigma Galaxy.